I never thought my paranoia would save me, but 3 years living next to Margaret Ellison in Pinewood Estates changed that. I'm Michael Thompson, 42, an investment banker at Sterling Financial, and the proud owner of a sleek silver Porsche 911, a reward for sealing the Grayson deal last year. That car wasn't just metal. It was every late night, every missed family event, every barrier I'd shattered to rise in a world that didn't always welcome me. My home on Maple Drive wasn't the grandest, but I earned every brick of it. The trouble wasn't the house. It was Margaret, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, a 60-something retired principal with a perm and a sneer that sharpened whenever I dared to breathe in her presence. From the moment I moved in, Margaret made her disdain clear. She called security during my move-in, claiming I was a burglar. She reported my lawn to the HOA for being 1/8 of an inch too long. She gripped her purse like I was a thief when we passed by the mailboxes. Classic busybody, but I wasn't letting her scare me out of my dream home. Then there was her son, Kyle, a 31-year-old leech who lived off her pension and half-baked hustles, lounging in comic book pajamas. His window faced my driveway, and I'd catch him eyeing my Porsche with a hunger that made my skin crawl. "Nice car for a guy like you," he sneered once while I waxed it. I grinned. "Work hard, Kyle. It pays." He stormed off, and I thought that was that. I was dead wrong. Last month, I flew to Chicago for a 3-day conference, leaving my Porsche locked in the driveway with my security system armed. My friend Marcus checked on the house daily. On day 2, Marcus texted, "Did you sell your Porsche?" "Some guy's driving it." My stomach dropped. Marcus confirmed it was Kyle, cruising like he owned it. My security app showed the driveway camera was disabled. I called the police to report the theft and caught the next flight home. When I landed, the plot thickened. Kyle showed the cops a bill of sale with my supposed signature, claiming I sold him my $128,000 car for $30,000. The officer, uneasy, called it a civil matter, since Kyle had paperwork. I was furious. Who'd believe I'd sell my pride and joy to this jobless slob for peanuts? Then I saw Margaret smirking from her driveway, reveling in my rage. It hit me, this was their scheme, mother and son together. They didn't know I was ready. Living near Margaret taught me to cover my tracks. I had a friend in high places, Judge Nathan Brooks, my college fraternity brother, and they just stepped into my trap. The next morning, I skipped work, a rarity, and dug in. In my garage, a hidden safe held a USB drive from a backup security system, offline and unlinked to my phone. The footage was gold, Margaret slipping papers into my mailbox as I left for the airport, Kyle breaking into my car with a Slim Jim and a cloned key signal, and both rehearsing their story before hiding my Porsche in their garage. The next day, Kyle drove it off with a sold sign. I called my lawyer, Sarah Nguyen. "Grand theft, forgery, fraud," she said. "They're done." I wanted them to pay, but Sarah urged caution. "We'll do this right." While Sarah built the case, I researched Margaret's HOA reign. She'd harassed minority families for years. One even fled after endless complaints. This wasn't just about my car, it was a pattern. My GPS tracker pinged my Porsche at Riverside Auto, a shady dealership 30 miles away. I drove there and saw my car on the lot, priced at $85,000 with a sold sign. The salesman, Eddie, boasted about its one owner. I cut in. "That's me. It was stolen 2 days ago." I showed photos, my title, and the police report. Eddie paled and fetched his boss, Greg, who insisted they bought it legally from Kyle. I played the security footage. Greg caved, handed over the keys, and admitted Margaret and Kyle sold it for $60,000 cash, no bank records. Money laundering, added to their rap sheet. I drove my Porsche home, waving at Margaret as she gaped, her garden hose slipping. The war was on. Margaret stormed over the next day, screaming that I'd stolen the car back. "Funny," I said, sipping coffee. "Can't steal what's mine." "Your forged papers?" "I've got video." and the GPS logged every move. Her face went white. "Cameras?" she stammered. "Living near you demands precautions," I replied, offering to show the footage. She fled, muttering threats. Kyle watched from their window, ducking when I stared back. That night, a crash woke me. Kyle, in his Spider-Man shorts, was smashing my Porsche's headlights in my garage with a bat. I grabbed my own bat, called 911, and flipped on the lights. "Kyle!" I roared. He spun, wild-eyed. "You ruined everything!" "Mom promised me that car." "Drop it," I ordered, hearing sirens. He ranted about me not belonging, revealing their bigotry. As police lights flashed, he dropped the bat and ran. Cops arrested him for breaking, vandalism, and assault. Neighbors watched as Kyle sobbed in cuffs, Margaret shrieking I'd framed them. Her mask was off. I wasn't done. I contacted former neighbors like Dr. Lena Carter, who'd left after Margaret targeted her autistic son's service dog. The Garcias endured complaints about their cooking smells. HOA records showed Margaret's vendettas against non-white residents. A private investigator uncovered more dirt. Then I met Margaret's ex-husband, Richard, Kyle's dad. Over coffee, he shared how Margaret forged documents in their divorce, claiming he hid assets. He handed me a folder of proof, court records, emails of her gloating. "She turned Kyle into this," he sighed. He also revealed that Margaret co-owned her house with her sister, Laura. If sued, the house was at risk. I had her. 2 weeks later, Margaret was arrested for conspiracy, fraud, and forgery. Her handcuffed walk from her pristine home stunned the neighborhood. The local paper blared. HOA chief busted in car theft plot. I filed a $1.2 million civil suit for damages. Margaret's lawyer, Victor Crane, tried to discredit my footage and pin it all on Kyle. It failed. Kyle, facing 20 years, took a plea for 5, testifying that Margaret masterminded the theft, even citing a prior boat scam. Margaret sat stone-faced as he detailed her coaching him to scam the dealership. The jury convicted her in 8 days, sentencing her to 7 years. She raged about protecting the community, but the judge slammed her lack of remorse. In the civil suit, discovery exposed Margaret's fraud, skimming $100,000 from HOA funds and shady rental properties. Her sister, Laura, forced a house sale to protect her share. Margaret settled for $750,000, her HOA resignation, and a permanent move. The HOA apologized for her bigotry and banned discrimination. I joined the board with Dr. Carter and Juan Garcia, auditing past abuses and fostering inclusivity. Pinewood Estates bloomed, property values soared, and cookouts united us. The Kapoors bought Margaret's house, their kids' laughter filling the street. A year later, my Porsche shines, upgraded with a kill switch and extra trackers. Some call me paranoid, I call it wise. Margaret rots in prison, unrepentant. Kyle's improving, down 60 pounds, earning a GED, and nearing parole. I might visit him, not to gloat, but to show change is possible. The settlement funded a legal aid program for housing discrimination victims and a music studio for me. Monthly cookouts, with Dr. Carter's collards and the Kapoor's samosas, bind us. Pinewood's warmth replaced Margaret's venom. My Porsche isn't just a car, it's proof I won against hate. What do you think? Was Margaret's downfall justice or overkill? Share your thoughts below, especially on how far neighbors should go when tensions flare. Hit subscribe for more stories like this.